Sound check. Sound check. Sound check.
Going to call a House Committee on Transportation to order. First right off the get-go, let me go ahead and introduce my Sergeant at Arms. If I'm on paper here. Glad to have them today. We got Terry McCall, Nina Lage, Bill Raleigh, and B.H. Powell. So glad to have y'all. Thank you for the work you do for us. Also, let's hope I can get this right here as far as the pages go. We got Jaden Ida, Representative Carla D. Cunningham. We got Aiden Moran Bates, Representative Christian Baker, and we got Joshua Revore, Representative Alan Chesser. Thank you for coming and helping us also, Pages. All right, we're going to go ahead and get on. Like I said, we got a full day and we got a lot of people got to be places at 11 o'clock, so we're going to make this move along. First bill up, House Bill 198, DOT legislative changes. It's going to be Chairman Jones carrying this. Go right ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Carey. Good morning, committee. Good morning, folks. These bills before you today have been marinating a long time. A lot of stakeholders have had a lot of input on these. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I move. I move to put the PCS before you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. And I would like to say on behalf of the bills, I appreciate you wearing DOT orange today.
Thank you. You're welcome. It's got a traffic barrel motif.
Was it 2 for 1? That's all I wanted to know. But anyway, lot of information in these bills. They have been sitting out there a long time. I've courteously went through with my Democrat friends, my Republican friends, people in the private sector to get through these. 198, just quickly, there's just a few changes in there. Progressive design build, delivery method, the increase for the cap for the project, authorized Department of Transportation to start a statewide purchasing. We're going to do a specific material substitution requirement. That was a DOT request. Some roadside and roadway impacts, adjust requirements for ROW registrations, extend duration of the North Carolina Bond Act, remove DOT employee limit on travel. And I'm sure you went through, rather than just sit here and go through every single section. Mr. Chairman, I'll stand for any questions or comments that I can answer for the committee.
Representative Jackson.
Yes. Good morning. Thank you, sir. I have a question about the contracting opportunities that where the bill states that we're going to allow them to go from 5 projects to 8 projects. It appears that they are having more authority and less oversight by not requiring them to report. And I want to know how that will affect the threshold that we just approved from the 250 with them contracting out bids. Would that exempt them from that requirement?
What section? I'm sorry. Which
I'm
section?
sorry.
Just-
It is
I've got mine broken down a little different.
okay, this is section 3 on page 1. On the PCS is what I'm looking at, sir.
All right. So today, what I've asked to do is the stakeholders came in, DOT's actually got a liaison here, and I'm gonna ask her to address that. So she says specifically. So Mr. Chairman, if you could call on Ms. Jackson, please.
Ms. Jackson, would you please come speak to us?
Thank you, Lee Jackson, Legislative Director, NCDOT. Thank you for your question, Representative Jackson. No, ma'am, that will not exempt us from having oversight or reporting on that. This section is modeled after the CMGC method that we currently utilize. Everyone who knows the Toyota Mega Site, that was one of the projects selected for that pilot program. Once the project is completed, we report back to the General Assembly on the progress of that to determine how that method was utilized. And so the same would apply for the progressive design build. We would report back and understand how it went through the process and if that's the best method moving forward for specific projects.
Follow-up question, please.
Follow up. Mr. Jones, do you take it?
Yes, absolutely.
The follow-up question is, as it relates to the Integrated Mobility Division, is that now the new name for Public Transportation Division?
Mr. Chair, I'll yield to Ms. Jackson for the answer.
Ms. Jackson? Get her turned on. Mike, that is.
And here we go. So that is the bicycle and pedestrian is what IMD is, integrated mobility.
Any other question, Representative Jackson? Okay. All right, who was this to? Is it staff or to Representative Jones? Okay. Mic on, please.
There you go.
Sorry, went off. How does the bill impact the D-Blow portion of NCDOT's program? Would they not have to go through that with choosing pre-qualified contractors?
No, ma'am, that would not affect it at all. We still have the same requirements that we have to meet for small professional service firms, disadvantaged businesses, minority-owned businesses. So it wouldn't affect it at all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Anybody else want to speak? Representative
I
John,
have a question of Representative Jones.
you yield, sir.
Absolutely.
Representative Jones, upon receiving the PCS last night, I had asked to be drafted this morning an amendment striking sections 33A and B, pages 10 through 12, kneeling with outdoor advertising. And in discussing with you prior to the meeting, I learned that this section has been agreed upon between DOT and the outdoor advertising folks. Is that correct?
Yeah, Representative John, thank you for coming by and sharing that with me before we got to committee. And that is correct. The Secretary of Transportation, as well as stakeholders and outdoor advertising, came to this agreement. This is agreed upon language by the department that they are okay with this language.
Okay. In that event, I'll withdraw the amendment.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right. If not at this time, we do have looks like maybe 3 people that wish to speak on the DOT bill from the audience. Is Colonel Freddie Johnson, is he there?
No, he's not here.
Okay, we'll move forward. Looks like Chief Stella Patterson.
Yes, sir. Good morning. My name is Estella Patterson, and I want to thank you for this opportunity this morning. It is my honor to serve as the Chief of Police for the Raleigh Police Department. I've been here in the capital city for 19 months, but served the Charlotte-Mecklenburg community for 25 years before coming to Raleigh. Over my 27 years in law enforcement, I have seen the needs of the profession shift greatly. With the mass exodus of officers leaving the profession and the increasing amount of retirements, investments in force multipliers are a must. At the Raleigh Police Department, we're sitting in a 14% vacancy rate, which accounts to 115 officers. Additionally, in our city, we're experiencing a population growth in Raleigh and Wake County that is outpacing our ability to keep up with the calls for service. Further, and perhaps most important, We are experiencing increases in crime, particularly violent crime, that is impacting everyone's safety in our community. In 2021, when I arrived to Raleigh, I immediately noticed that this department had few fully functioning ALPRs. Thankfully, within a few months, the Major City Chiefs Association presented an opportunity for participating cities to receive 25 ALPRs in a joint partnership with Flock and Axon. Having seen the monumental impacts and the great successes we had in Charlotte with ALPRs, I immediately took advantage of this opportunity. And it has been the most beneficial decision that I have made as a chief for the safety of our community. In the first 6 months of the deployments of the LPRs, we received 116 hits that led to 41 arrests. In the last 28 days, we've had 30 hits that have led to 22 arrests. And these arrests were for stolen vehicles and other vehicles matching descriptions that were used in the commission of violent crimes. And just two weeks ago, on April 13th, a vehicle with a 7-day-old child was stolen from a gas station on Capitol Boulevard. In less than an hour, our officers were able to locate that vehicle through the use of an LPR that we had stationed at Green Road. The child was found safe and unharmed and returned to her mother. I don't believe that we would have been able to make that impact, find that vehicle, and get that child back to safety had we not had that ALPR in the area. I have a list of success stories I can share with you for the benefits of our license plate readers. But what I want to stress to you is the dire need for law enforcement to have additional eyes and ears in our community for the safety of us all. I shared our vacancy rates with you a few minutes ago, and sadly, that has become our reality for most metropolitan police departments in North Carolina and across the state. And the reality is, as a chief, I don't want that to be our new normal, seeing those kind of rates, because it is overtaxing the resources that we currently have within our police department. I'll tell you, quite frankly, our officers are exhausted physically and mentally. They're overworked, and they don't have the ability to do proactive policing because of not having the tools. There are many stolen vehicles that are taken in carjackings, shootings, aggravated assaults, and the list goes on and on. And with the very limited resources, we spend thousands of staff hours searching and looking for offenders. If we had the authority to install ALPRs along DOT right-of-ways, it would greatly enhance our ability to locate these offenders and victims in a more timely manner. Now, please note definitively, I am not supporting this legislation as a pretext to use license plate readers for locating vehicles for minor traffic offenses. Neither am I intend to use them to track individuals or violate privacy laws. We already have provisions in place for that at our police department for the storage of the information from the ALPRs and the retention of the license plate readers. We would strictly adhere to those provisions of the bill to make sure we do not violate them. In conclusion, I want to thank you, of course, for this opportunity to speak before you on this matter. And I do urge you to give serious thought to the shortages in law enforcement that all our agencies are facing across the state, and the need for force multipliers to fill those gaps and allowing us to work smarter to protect our most vulnerable populations in our communities, which includes, of course, our children, our parents, our families, and even one another. This pilot program and this legislation would allow us to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Patterson. Also have Sheriff Keith Stone, unless he wants to add anything new or different to that. Do you wish to speak, Sheriff Stone?
I do. I want to echo the words of the chief, how important this legislation is. I know that there's concern that it will be abused. Obviously, professional policing today, we have safeguards and internal affairs to handle those matters, and there's laws in place for it. We had a nurse that was killed brutally, and the perpetrator leaves and drives out of the state trying to go back into another country, Mexico. And LPR picked it up 30 miles from the border. And it won't a doubt if he would do this again. Sure, he's going to do it again. I made contact with the FBI NA graduate that I just graduated school with. And in 30 minutes, we had him in custody. We are at this time in North Carolina and across this nation in cities, ride-by shootings are at a alarming rate. You never heard of this 15, 20 years ago, but it's happening more and more and more. Gangs, guns, and drugs, and these type of things that are going on in the community that are demising it, and violence is rising. the number one way to combat this is every one of them have to transport up and down the road. And the use of LPRs bring faster catch to these individuals. And also it stops it before it happens again. We utilize the LPR system, we utilize Flock, and numerous cases every week we solve with this. The breaking and enterings, the different burglaries that we have. This is a tool that is something that we can't go without if we want good, safe policing in America and especially in North Carolina. But I thank you for the opportunity and thank you for listening. But as a sheriff and 30 years with the Highway Patrol, I can tell you it will make a demonstrated difference in the safety of the people of our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Stone. All right, this time we're not going to have any more public comment. Representative Tyson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move for a favorable report for the PCS to House Bill 198, unfavorable to the original, and a referral to finance.
All right, a motion has been made. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries. All right, Representative Jones, thank you for that. We're going to move on to House Bill 199, DMV proposed legislative changes. Go right ahead, sir.
Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is another 2-year bill that we do just to clean up a few things in there. The main thing you will see this time, there's going to be a study for alternative material for license plate. It appears that we're running a little short on aluminum, so we're talking to some other states. See if we can get some ideas on going to a different type of plate. The next biggest change would be print on demand for temporary registration plates. We've been following this for about 4 years. We let our friends in South Carolina kind of go through the growing pains of this. We've adopted legislation that has worked very successful for them. One of the main reasons, one of the main reasons we will do this, I see the chief left, but Sheriff Stone can testify to this. His many years in law enforcement. If he gets behind a car with a temporary paper plate and he runs those digits, the plate only goes back to the dealer that sold it. He has no idea who he's facing in that vehicle. We do print on demand. That's going to be a specialized number to the purchaser of that vehicle, and will give our law enforcement more security and the ability to know who they're stopping.
Representative Jones, I hate to interrupt you. Your chairman's doing a horrible job this morning. Representative Cleveland makes a motion to put the PCS before us, so no objection. We'll continue. All right, go right ahead.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do better. I swear.
You're doing good, sir. You're fine. So it's just the normal few cleanups on there. I will stand for any questions.
Representative Winslow.
Promotion.
Okay. This looks like the appropriate time. We're ready for it, sir.
I make a motion favorable to the PCS, unfavorable to the original, and refer to rules, please.
All right. Finance.
Sorry, finance. Thank
No
you.
problem. All right. Everybody understands the motion before us right now. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries. Representative Jones, we're ready to go to HB 447, but it is a PCS. And I have a motion from Representative Winslow to put it before the committee with no objection. So moved. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, this is one of our 2-year bills. It's on the franchise laws. Pretty much just to clean up there again. I would stand for any questions and we'll get as far in the weeds as you would like us to.
I don't see any questions. All right. Representative Winslow, go right ahead, sir.
I make a motion, favorable report on the PCS, unfavorable to the original, referral to rules. Rules. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Motion has been made. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries. All right. The next one is not a PCS. But Representative Jones, you are more than welcome to go ahead and let's get going in it.
Thank you,
HB
Mr. Chairman. This is kind of a piggyback on the last one, and I want to thank my bill sponsors for helping me with this. This is just kind of some clarification for timely notice of potential violations for mostly motor vehicle dealers. A lot of times there's a great lag in the dealer being notified that there has been a violation. I mean, up to 12, 24 months sometimes. So, and this would also conditional delivery clarification and license application notice clarification, pretty standard stuff, just a lot of clarification. We appreciate your support on this bill.
Winslow. I know what you're asking. You can go ahead and do it.
I make a motion on House Bill 448, favorable reports and refer to rules, please.
Okay, motion has been made on the floor. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries. And I
Mr.
think
Chair,
you're gonna do 577, aren't you, sir?
I'm gonna stand in for 577 if I could, please.
That'd be great. Go right ahead, sir.
Thank you. I'm walking the dog here from Representative Carson Smith. It's just a study bill that he has asked that we do. DMV is supportive of this, requested that be a study, come up for a plan to implement this. It would be putting an emergency contact on a certain driver license. And I know Representative Smith would greatly appreciate your support on this study bill.
Representative Winslow. Go right ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Make a favorable motion on House Bill 577, refer to rules, please.
All right, motion has been made. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries.
Chairman, thank you. Committee, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have House Bill 309, inspection of low-speed vehicles, Representative Eiler. And as PCS, Representative Faircloth asked to come before the committee with no objection. No objection heard. Go right ahead, Representative Eiler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What's a low-speed vehicle? Well, some people think they're golf carts, but they've been upgraded to go 25 miles an hour. They are legal on for the street use on the street. They've got to have seat belts, turn signals, and all the safety equipment, almost like a regular vehicle. But they're not allowed to drive on any road over 35 miles an hour. So let me give you a quick scenario, then I'll answer any questions. We have one island in our county, in Brunswick County, about 800 permanent residents, but about 3,000 homes on it, second homes, rental homes, and so forth. But over half of those houses have a golf cart or a low-speed vehicle, as they're now called, that is licensed and has to be inspected. So what they have to do is a guy with a business that's on a 45-mile-an-hour road on the mainland has to come pick them up, charge $200, $250, pick them up, inspect them, take them back, and you can imagine this doing 1,000 times on in a given year. So and during the summer we have a lot more than that because there are rentals over there. But the idea is that if you have a permanent location that meets all the state requirements, just like I believe if you look at the PCS up in section 1 is a regular station. You can also have a mobile site that you can go, like for example, on the island and have a mobile site where you can inspect them and not have to charge $200, $250 to pick them up and take them back. And all the gas and fumes or whatever carbon dioxide that uses up for regular vehicles. But these are normally electric, but they can be gas. We just changed the definition in another bill. Representative Davis ran that it can be gas, but normally they're electric. They're modified golf carts. And I'm gonna quit calling them golf carts because I've been corrected by the staff that they're low-speed vehicles. So I urge your support of this. It would be a big help to our citizens that don't live on the mainland, that live on somewhere where there's not a 35-mile-an-hour road that can get to the inspection station.
Thank you, Mr. Eiler. Representative Eiler. I got Representative Loftus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question for the presenter.
You yield?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
In looking at, it would authorize for a licensed safety inspection station to do this inspection. Is that going to incur a cost to the low-speed vehicle owner? Which would have to be cheaper than the $200 tow bill.
I would suspect that there would be a fee involved, but we're not going to cap it. But the idea is it's gonna be a lot less than picking them up and charging 200 to 250 to.
One follow-up, Mr. Chairman.
Follow up.
Is
Go ahead.
there documentation that this so-called station will provide to ensure that you've had it inspected for those safety items?
They have to do that to get their license sticker. They have to, it has to be inspected, just like your
A
vehicle,
vehicle.
to get their license sticker every year.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Representative Cleveland, recognized.
For a motion.
Okay. Now's appropriate time, sir. We're waiting here.
Favorable report to the PCS for House Bill 309, unfavorable to the original bill, and a referral to rules.
All right, there is a motion, but I do have a question from Representative Shepherd, Chairman. Go right ahead.
Representative Eiler, question for the sponsor. Who was requesting this and is there a fee? Is there going to be a fee like we do for our regular car inspections and so forth?
There'll still be an inspection fee. It just won't be as big a fee to pick it up and take it back. And it's requested by some of the residents that have to pay the $200 on some of the islands that I represent.
Follow up. So what will the fee, do we know what the fee is going to be?
We don't, we'll leave that to the free market at this point.
I think staff wants to comment on this. Go ahead.
The Kellett Wade legislative analysis, the fee would remain unchanged for safety inspections. So that the $12 and plus the 85 cents would remain the same for safety inspections. There have been no other changes.
Okay, no other questions. A motion on the floor. All those in favor of the motion set forth, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries. Thank you, Representative. I think we have Representative Matthew Winslow, House Bill 633, Shine Like Haley Parade Safety Act. Also Representative Sossaman.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir.
Let me speak this morning. Quick background. This is in response to the tragic accident in the Raleigh Parade this past Christmas. And the Brooks family is here with us today. They asked us to work on a bill for them to help make sure that we can hopefully never have this ever happen again in one of our parades here in North Carolina. What the bill does is very simple. It just creates a safety and accountability for the parades for towns and cities over 35,000. And we have been working with the league on the language, and I'm here if you have any questions. And Mr. Speaker, the Brooks family is here to speak also.
All right, at this time, we will let Trey Brooks speak to this, and then we'll come back to any questions from the committee, if that's okay.
Good morning, everybody. First off, I wanted to say thank you to Representative Winslow and Representative Salzman and Ms. Willis Bodie from the Senate that's sitting here with us today. We reached out to them probably about 6 weeks to 2 months ago and started discussing with them some concerns we had that frankly, I don't think many parents are aware of when they take their kids to a parade. I think we all take for granted when we show up for the parade that there's basic safety guidance that's being followed, that's ensuring the safety of the parade and its participants and the spectators. In 2012, there was an accident in Midland, Texas. The NTSB issued some guidance in 2013 that they passed through the city of leagues along with the other municipality organizations offering recommendations to improve parade safety. We learned as a result of this accident, the capital of our state, the city of Raleigh, had very little of these suggestions in practice. One would be the background check of the driver, and two would be an inspection of the vehicle. It was a tragedy, but unfortunately, it was preventable. The driver knew that the parking brake or emergency brake was not connected on the vehicle, and it could be seen pretty. It was visible to the common eye or the trained eye of a mechanic. If they would have walked by, they would have seen the parking brake dangling from underneath the driver's door. If that would have been intact, my daughter probably would still be here today. So working with the representatives and the senator, I believe they started with the the NTSB report as well as looking at some other larger city guidance and put forward the bill to require minimum age, which also would been helpful. I think the driver is very inexperienced and panicked. And so the bill addresses the age as well as a basic inspection of the vehicle. I think maybe we look at making sure that doesn't fall on untrained individuals. Speaking with law enforcement that have been involved in parades before, they're not qualified necessarily to do that, but with their help, they can use ASE certified mechanics or somebody to make sure that these vehicles do have some kind of basic inspection prior to the incident. This vehicle in question had not been inspected in over a year, and he had been cited multiple times for that. I think that completes what we wanted to share right now, but we do want to say thank you to those here today that they're supporting the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. And on behalf of the North Carolina General Assembly, we are so sorry for your loss, and we'll pray for you and your family. So sorry. All right. I've got Representative Shepherd.
For a motion.
For a motion. All right. Representative Joe John.
That was likewise, Mr. Chairman, as a representative from Wake County, I would like to join the motion to approve this bill and send it on.
If you'd like to make the motion, we'll go right ahead with you, sir, since this is Wake County.
Thank you very much, sir. I move then that the House Committee on Transportation give a favorable report to House Bill 633 with a referral to rules.
All right, there is a motion on the floor. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion so carries. And now that ends our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.